What's up, everybody? Welcome to week 27 here on the 52 Horrific Weeks in 1988. I am your host, Moon616, and thank you once again for dropping in. Alrighty, guys, week 27, we are officially into the second half of the 2014 year, and you know what that means? The remaining films went into the randomizer. Hit that random button, and we've got Maniac Cop. Yes, Maniac Cop. Seen this movie so many times. Love me some Maniac Cop. Of course, directed by William Lustig, who did Maniac, my favorite slasher film of all time, among films. So, this one has lots of familiar faces in it. As you can see, it's got Bruce Campbell in it, Tom Atkins. It's got Richard Roundtree, who plays the commissioner in this film. The Maniac Cop is Robert Zarr. Big motherfucker. He's done actually quite a few action films and stuff. He's very recognizable because he's huge and he's got a big fucking jaw. Just among people. But if you've never seen this one, we'll get into the plot here. It centers in New York City. And basically what starts happening is innocent people are getting picked off like one by one in the streets at nighttime and stuff. Now, witnesses have said that it's like a uniformed cop that's doing these killings. So basically, the city kind of like, starts going a little crazy with that. They're like kind of freaking out, going, holy shit, like if this is a cop doing these killings, what the fuck do? We can't trust police anymore. So now you got your main detective in the film, who's played by Tom Atkins, Frank McRae, I believe is his name. He starts investigating this. Initially, this girl that winds up dead, apparently it was the prime suspects were these two young guys or whatnot. He starts looking at the killing, and he knows right away that it has nothing to do with these kids. So he starts kind of taking what witnesses are saying seriously about this possibility of a cop doing some killings. So he starts kind of investigating around and whatnot. And then you get introduced to your secondary kind of main character, which is Bruce Campbell. Officer Forrester. He basically becomes the prime suspect after his wife is murdered in a hotel room. And his wife is murdered in the hotel room. He's doing some bad things. He's basically cheating on his wife with another police officer, an undercover cop, which they can't disclose the relationship because things will kind of go all sour and stuff like that. So he becomes the prime suspect because basically what his wife was kind of thinking that he was cheating on him. So she was keeping a scrapbook of all these nighttime killings and stuff because Bruce Campbell's character, Officer Forrester, he was taking a lot of nighttime overtime. And, she was kind of getting suspicious and stuff. So basically her clippings and stuff like that kind of led the police to believe that he was the prime suspect. So, but Tom Atkins' character, Detective McRae, does not think or believe that he actually is a detective after he starts poking around and stuff like that. So basically it's an investigation trying to figure out what's going on to maybe unravel some type of conspiracy that's going on and whatnot and stuff. And possibly save Detective Forrester from burning at the stake. So so that's your premise of the film right there. Now my thoughts on this one. I have always loved this movie. I think it's fantastic. I love the premise of this film. I can't really give too much away about the second half of the film and what goes on and the whole reveal of the film and stuff like that. If you've never seen it, most people watching this review probably already know exactly what it is. But it's an interesting premise. I really do like the premise of this film. I've always thought of this film to be more of like kind of an investigative kind of action thriller than a slasher film. It acts like a slasher film in the beginning of the film because of the random killings and the way they're getting killed and stuff like that. But it does turn into more of an investigation and kind of like an action film. I do like all the elements of the film. It makes up for a good movie. With that said, like the body count in this film isn't huge. There's a few killings that happen in the middle of the film, and then, throughout the middle, there's quite a long investigation, and you got your end type deal. They definitely, pick up the pace with the killings in the second film. But yeah, overall, it's a really fun film. I think there's some pretty natural comedic elements in this film. There's a funny ass scene. Yeah, the first scene in the film where Tom Atkins' character is talking to Richard Roundtree, who's the police commissioner, and he's talking about his kind of problems and stuff like that. Where Tom Atkins quite possibly had of tried to kill himself after his partner was killed previously, and Richard Roundtree says to him, he goes, "You don't smile much, do you?" And Tom Atkins' character, Detective McCrae, forces this smile on it. It's just fucking hilarious the way he does it. But the movie's definitely not a comedy. It just has kind of comedic elements to it every once in a while in the film, which really adds to the charm of it. It really does add to it. I really like that. Great action scenes in this movie too. Really cool stunts. There's a scene with something going over, like a water door or like a wharf. I won't really give anything away, but that stunt is nuts. Like when you actually watch it, it's pretty cool how they did it. Pretty cool stuff. But the killings themselves in the film, they're kind of modest a little bit. I mean, considering Lustig, had done, Maniac previously to this, the killings are nothing like on that type of level at all. So it's, it's kind of, it is what it is. It just kind of makes it feel like it's more of an investigative action film than like a really gory slasher film, just because of that element too. I love the Maniac cop though. He's fantastic. Great casting with that. Awesome stuff. One thing I've always noticed about this movie that's very odd to me is, well, not even odd, I think it works, but it's very different, is the score. Like the main theme to this movie, which you can kind of hear in the background right now. It plays out throughout the film every once in a while. It feels like it almost feels like it could be the score to like a ghost film or something. It's really weird how they did it. I think it was an interesting choice of score for the film. I think, to be honest, maybe more of an up-tempo kind of, almost like an action score would have worked a little better for it. It's always one kind of gripe I've had with the film, but it's not really a big deal. It doesn't really affect it too much. I just thought maybe the score could have been a little different, but yeah, I don't really know what else to say, man. Bruce Campbell, of course, does a great job in this film. There's a funny scene with a drop kick in this film that always cracks me up too. But yeah, I don't really want to give too much else away from this film here. I was very lucky to meet Tom Atkins this past Wasteland. He was a very, very charming guy. Awesome fucking dude, man. So yeah, just throw that in there. If I had to rate this movie, I'd probably give it a solid 7.5. I really do like this film, but to be honest, I really kind of like the second one more. It is a lot more action. There's a lot more killings, and it's kind of, I think it's paced a little better, to be honest too. But nothing to take away from this one. I love this movie. I think it's fantastic. It's got a great premise and really good cast, good acting and stuff. So definitely check this out, especially this edition by Synapse. I don't think it's Synapse's best Blu-ray transfer, but with that said, it's still really good. It's better than most companies' transfers, to be honest. Synapse really does a good job. It's got lots of features and stuff, so definitely give this one a shot. Maniac Cop from 1988. Awesome stuff, guys. For week 27 here, and I think that's going to wrap it up for the review. Don't really have anything else to say about it, but anyways, guys, I'll be back next week with another review, of course. As always, I do not know what it's going to be, and I will check you guys in week 28. Peace out.